Welcome into the Michigan Football Report. I've got 5 questions that are out there that I'm thinking about, that people are asking me. I'm sure people are asking others regarding the 2020 Michigan football season. And let's jump right into it, talking about DYlan McCaffrey. And I don't know if there's a great answer out there yet, but why did DYlan McCaffrey transfer? And you'd be like, well, he'd lost the starting job, but it's not that easy. Well, let's talk about the facts. He opted out of the 2020 season, intends to transfer. He'd been competing for the quarterback job. It's pretty widely known that it was either told to him or he believed that Joe Milton was going to be the starting quarterback, so he was going to be the backup. And this is his 4th year going to Michigan, so he's going to transfer 2 years of eligibility remaining. Well, what do you mean 2 years of eligibility remaining, James? He's a 4th-year player. Okay. And you can toss those stats up while I'm talking, Dill. That's cool. So let's think about DYlan McCaffrey in the grand scheme of things. I thought why he decided to transfer, was that Michigan schedule coming back, him not being starting quarterback, he wanted to save this season of eligibility so he didn't have to sit out next year as a transfer. But then I'm thinking, okay, he's going to stay at Michigan and graduate now. So he is staying on campus until December to graduate. So even if he played this year, he'd still be a graduate transfer after this year. This year does not count in eligibility. According to the NCAA, they put out a rule about a month and a half ago to allow players to opt out, to not opt out, whatever they wanted to do, that this season wouldn't count towards eligibility. So if DYlan McCaffrey played this year or didn't play this year, he was going to have 2 more years of eligibility. If he graduates in December, he can go and play anywhere he wants in 2021 without having to sit out a year or even have to ask the NCAA for an exemption or anything like that. But so it doesn't make any sense to me. He could have played the entire season, every single game, not played, whatever it wants. While I'm talking, go down in the comments, give me your one-word reaction to McCaffrey leaving. I'm going to pin it there. But mine is just why. I don't understand why he transferred. He could have played the entire season, every single game Michigan had, graduated in December, graduated and left and played anywhere he wants in 21 and 22. Nothing he did this year, as long as he was going to graduate, like everyone seems to be saying, would impact his future. So he's going to be on Michigan's campus this fall, just walking around, grabbing some Subway and going back to his dorm and watching the football team play when he could have been the season. I don't get it. I'm not sure if it was well thought out on his part. Maybe it was. I'm not sure. But it makes no sense to me. It's just weird. Is why. Go down in the comments. I'll pin this comment down below. One-word reaction to DYlan McCaffrey transferring. Next up, status of Nico Collins and Ambry Thomas. It was looking like that Ambry might come back, and now maybe it's not as much, but his mom has come out and given definitive thoughts. Both guys have signed with Drew Rosenhaus, the agent. Nico Collins coming into his 4th year, Ambry Thomas, both part of that 2017 recruiting class, which basically has no players left from it almost on the Michigan football team, just 4th season later. But both guys have signed with Drew Rosenhaus. No one really has updated any status of Nico Collins yet. Ambry Thomas's mom, though, in the last 36 hours has come out definitively and said, no, he's not coming back. We're working on him now. He knows what he needs to do to make it to the league. That sounds like agent talk to me, so it seems like Ambry Thomas with Drew Rosenhaus is too far down, so I don't expect him to come back. Maybe someone will talk Nico Collins in it because Josh Gaddis tweeted at him. I know a lot of people putting pressure on him. Maybe he'll find he's got the one that's got first round pick potential. I don't think Ambry does, no matter if he comes back or doesn't. So maybe Nico will see the light and come back. I'll put the odds of Nico coming back at 30%. Ambry, maybe 5% at this point. If you saw the show yesterday, our debut return show, you would have saw this great promotion from BetUS, our new sportsbook partner. It's legalized in the state of Michigan this year. You guys should be listening to me. I put my NFL picks out on Sunday. Basically the best sports gamer in the world. BetUS is going to hook you up with a 125% deposit bonus. You put down 100, you put down 200, whatever you want to put down, whatever you feel comfortable. 125% bonus. Put down 100, got another 125 sitting there in bonus cash. And for the first 20 people, had about half dozen on Sunday, to sign up and deposit with that promo code GOBLUE at chatsports.com/bet. Going to give you $130 pair of shoes, or if you don't like the shoes, authentic Michigan football Jordan brand jersey. That's a great offer. You get 125% of your money, plus we're going to mail that from our office straight to you thanks to our partnership with BetUS. Chatsports.com/bet. You saw the email address on the previous screen. It's just goblue@chatsports.com. It's really simple. If you forgot, just rewind the video. You'll see it down there. Third question. Any chance versus Ohio State? Not really. I mean, what do you want me to say here? This might be the best Ohio State team, and they lost 2 of the first 3 picks in the NFL draft. This might be the best Ohio State team that we've seen in my life. And they just blew Michigan out, scoring 59 points a game the last 2 years. Their offense is unbelievable. They had 2 top 15 picks in Wyatt Davis and Shaun Wade opt back in the past week. So they've got a first-rounder at corner and a first-round O-line that came back. I don't see it happening. You saw my prediction video yesterday. I predicted Ohio State will drop 100 on Michigan, like Ryan Day said. But look, this Michigan team, I hope, surprises us. I hope Joe Milton is everything that people have been hyping him up to be since he was a senior in high school. He's huge. He's 6'6", 6'7", 265 pounds. It looks like Rashawn Gary out there. But until proven otherwise, I will no longer predict Michigan will beat Ohio State. But I'm still going to bring the fire. I'm still going to irk Ohio State fans on social media. I'm still going to be a Michigan fan. So type Bosa beats Ohio State again. Type it in the comments. I think we willed the Big Ten back to play. I think we can will Michigan to a victory against Ohio State, but we got to do it together. You and me. Type Bosa, use it on social media, and always go blue. Make sure you guys, while you're here, before we get into the rest of our questions, subscribe to the channel. It helps us out. It gives the indication to the fat cats and the big wigs at Chat Sports. You guys like what you're seeing, so subscribe to the channel. Turn those notifications on, too. You get a notification every time we post a new video. How about number 4? The biggest strength of this Michigan football team, and there are quite a few of them. And even with losing potentially Nico Collins, once that's decided either way, I'm guessing that it'll be a loss, as I said previously. There are a lot of strengths, including wide receiver. Go ahead and toss them up there. Defensive line, I think, is the absolute strength of this team. Not just the starters, but also the depth. But we'll take a look here in a second at the starters. On the ends, you've got Kwity Paye. Some people are calling him a first-round pick. Bruce Feldman from, Fox Sports or wherever the hell he works now, said he was the biggest freak in college football, putting up some crazy stats in kind of spring ball for the different NFL combine. Aiden Hutchinson on the other defensive end, and then Carlo Kemp, Chris Hinton. Those are your starters. Michigan returning 3 of their 4 starters on the defensive line. And frankly, all those guys except for Kemp will probably not be back in 2020. I'm sorry, except for Hinton will not be back in 2021. Paye and Kemp seniors, Hutchinson a junior, but may decide to turn to go pro. How about running back? Also some great depth at running back, and that's a strength of the team. You've got 2 starter-level players, Zach Charbonnet, Hassan Haskins. I'm calling them running back 1A and B. I'm not really to declare a starter until we see him on the field. And then Chris Evans, a guy with 1,600 yards rushing in his career, took a year off due to some academic reasons. Now he's back in the field. Blake Corum, the true freshman, speedster, he'll get some snaps. And then Christian Turner, I didn't expect anything from Turner, but as number 5 guy, he is opted out of the 2020 season. I frankly expect him to never play for Michigan football again. How about the wide receivers? We're tossing it up there without Nico until it's firm, definitive, 100% that he is or isn't coming back. We'll keep him as a no. Ronnie Bell, Giles Jackson, Mike Sanders, still your starters. Cornelius Johnson has a chance, depending on how many 4 wide receiver sets or what they want to do with the slot, to be that kind of wide receiver 2 on the outside. But just as it's tough to say wide receiver 1 versus 2 versus slot right now, it's kind of tough to say in Josh Gadd's offense. So these are the 3 guys who will get the most playing time. How about that? Because I know there's going to be some slot truthers out there that's saying, well, Giles is the slot and A.J. Henning's a slot. Whatever, okay? Whatever. Those are the 3 guys that get the most snaps. The guys behind them, Cornelius Johnson, and then true freshman A.J. Henning and Roman Wilson, they will get the backup. Although there are some that saying that Roman Wilson is competing for a starting role with Michigan. So defensive line, running back, wide receiver. If Joe Milton, which we'll talk about in a second, can put it together and the offensive line works, I mean, that offense is looking great for not just this year, but the next year or two. Michigan have a ton of talent. Number 5, what's Michigan's biggest weakness? You see the emoji, this graphics and design team at Chat Sports just changing the game, just creating our own emojis. I love it. Biggest weaknesses, we've got 3 of them. It's offensive line, losing 4 starters, and gosh, almost lost 5 starters, but Ryan Hayes got some starts last year early on when Little John Running was out. And Andrew Stuber is probably going to stay moved inside. Some people said he was beating out Jalen Mayfield last year to be the starting tackle before he tore his ACL. So offensive line is a big question mark. 4 guys gone, 4 players drafted, but really lucky they got Jalen Mayfield back. Experience at quarterback. Toss up the depth chart here. Look, Joe Milton's your starter as a redshirt sophomore. Cade McNamara in his second season, redshirt freshman. And then who's the third quarterback? I mean, Dan Villari, right? DYlan McCaffrey's not on the roster. So if one of these guys, if Milton or McNamara go down, Michigan's going to really have some quarterback depth issues throughout this season. And then cornerback depth, right? If Ambry doesn't come back, that means Vincent Gray, who was on the field a little bit last year, but not a ton. You're going to lose both your starters in Ambry, Thomas, and then forgetting the guy's name from last year. You all know the name. And DJ Turner will be your starters, Vincent Gray and DJ Turner. That is not a cornerback group that can stop Ohio State, okay? So these guys need to grow up and grow up fast and get game time reps as much as they can if they're going to have any chance against Ohio State. You see the nickel will be freshman Andre Selden and a couple other freshmen, a couple young guys, but it's very young, right? When the most experience come back on your corners is like a redshirt sophomore, you potentially have some problems if you are the University of Michigan football team. So McCaffrey's transferring, Nico and Ambry. Ohio State, do we have a chance? What are the strengths? You saw those, and the weaknesses, O-line, quarterback experience, and cornerback depth. That's our show for today. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I really appreciate it. I'm really glad to be back in front of the camera, talking to you guys on a daily basis, having some fun on Twitter lately, but nothing beats this, doing these shows here on YouTube. So subscribe to the channel. Really helps us out. Hit that subscribe button. It's free. No big deal. And while you're waiting, you can see yesterday's video and some more Michigan Football Report content right here. Go Blue.